Hi, Matt. Hi, Kayla. Welcome, guys. I heard that you guys went to the UX Design Conference last week. How was it?
I really enjoyed the conference. I think, considering, everything being remote right now, from a conference perspective, I think they did a great job. Um, they used Hopin as the conferencing software. I think that was it worked out really well and was rather smooth. Besides us having to join the conference at 4 a.m. Every morning, just because it was over in Europe. So the conferences started at 9 a.m. for them, the sessions. But so we had to kind of, in order to join those live, had to get up a little early. But otherwise, I think it was really smooth. The sessions, transitioned nicely uh, between them. They gave us a little 5 minute break in between each session, which is great. And then there was, an expo tab and the work sessions afterwards. We didn't attend those, but the sessions were great. All the speakers did a great job.
Awesome. Kayla, what was your like a key concept or lesson that you really enjoyed from the conference, even if it was at 4 a.m.?
Yeah. There was this one woman, I think her name was Natalie Eck, and she had talked about game design and video tracking with eye tracking. And she had, I think one of the games she had mentioned that she worked on was Battlefield 1. And she was saying how they were running into issues on a key part of it that was giving them negative feedback and reviews, and how they were trying to come up with more of a bigger solution to a big problem. And sometimes that you have to take a step back, maybe not come up with something so drastic of a change that you have to make. And sometimes it could be more of a simpler solution. And it was kind of cool seeing different aspects of designers talking about how they come up with their solutions to problems. So I thought that was kind of interesting.
Very cool. Um, well, since you guys are at different levels of your career, Matt as the director, um, who do you think this conference was really geared towards?
I really think it could be for anyone who's, even starting into the field or, of UX or UI design, um, or somebody who's very experienced, and has a lot of many years of knowledge. I think it was kind of a mixture in terms of the speakers, their level of experience, and where they work. I think it was a vast variety of people in different fields. Whether it's a UX researcher, or if it's someone who's managing a large design team, in terms of what tools do they use, how do they get their designs and prototypes in front of real users to get feedback. I think it was good to kind of see that, what people are doing across industry. And I really don't think it really matters, what level of experience. I think we saw at the conference there was a wide range of people with varying experience, and it was kind of good to collaborate with those people through the chat and through some of the private chat rooms. Was good to see that going on, and people collaborating and sharing their experiences.
Awesome. So who recommended it to who? Kayla and Matt?
I actually saw this conference on LinkedIn. One of my connections was actually attending, so I was curious by it. I looked into it, um, noticed that it was starting very early, but talked to Kayla about it. She was game, so we signed up, and I think it's something that we might think about joining remotely every year. We'll see. And I think now that everything's kind of done remote, I think it's a good opportunity to see what conferences are out there, and what could be beneficial to us in continuing to enhance our UX and UI deliverables to clients.
Awesome. Kayla, as someone more in the beginning of their career, were you able to network with people and other professionals within the industry as much as you'd like to, as much as you would at a normal conference?
Yeah, this is my first conference experience ever. And so I've never had more of the traditional experience at a conference, but this one had I think the host described it as like speed dating. So he would like not him, but you would enter into a room and it would be randomized and it would only be for 3 minutes. And so you could talk to someone about whatever you would like to. But I had used the chat room a lot. I think when people, well, different presenters were showing their work or just speaking about their topic, a lot of people would have questions in the chat room, but then others would be answering them or even giving out resources to what was currently being talked about. And I thought that was really cool. And that was actually pretty helpful though, because sometimes as people were talking, you might not be able to go back and hear it again, but more people were almost taking notes, it seemed like, in the chat room too.
Awesome. So last question for you both. What is one thing you learned at the conference that you're going to implement in this next coming year?
I'll go first. So I think one thing I learned is, user research is a continuous process. It's iterative. So, we saw several sessions where there was a problem that the team was facing with, whether it's an application or a design system or something like that. They did a little bit of research to see uh, what the pain points were for their user, and sometimes they had to actually pivot the entire study that they were doing to kind of say, oh, well, this is the actual problem. So now let's pivot and see how we can target that. And there's a variety of different ways that they were able to accomplish that. It's not always revamping an entire design system or a design treatment or a layout. Sometimes it's just a matter of tweaking some content just to help communicate what the user is supposed to be doing, or maybe it's not the treatment of the alert message, but it's actually physically what it's saying or what it's linking to that needs to be changed. So what I learned is, instead of scrapping everything and starting over with the design, sometimes it's good to just hear from the actual users using the application that you're designing for, and just listen and see, what small tweaks can I make to this to make the experience even better.
Awesome. Kayla?
Yeah, so one of the things that a couple of people had mentioned was more of time management within their design programs that they were using. A lot of companies seem to want like instant handoffs and easier collaboration. So it's finding the right program to be able to do that in. And then once you have the right tool that you're using, it's how to start the design process so it's very cohesive on your first go, instead of waiting towards the end and having to kind of redo all of your work that's been done. So it's more of how to save time overall. That was kind of helpful to almost like make sure like you have yourself in check when you first like start out designs.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys both for sharing your experience at the UX conference. I hope you both had a good time. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.